This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. Today we are demoing a sound system we're going to be using for this upcoming week at LDI. We're going to be doing some cool things at LDI, which is the Lighting Design Institute, or that's what it used to be known. It might be something different now because, well, it's changing and it's evolving and it's becoming this really cool thing. Well, it's always been a cool thing, but that's another topic. Today, I've got my guys Brandon and Michael. They've been helping me test this audio system. We needed to have a portable kind of podcast system that we could take with us because we're going to be on the main stage at LDI in the middle of the exhibit hall doing a Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe recording. So, multiple microphones, a little mixer, a little thing going into that, so it's all coming together to give you a decent show that we're going to be recording in Las Vegas. So, I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about some of the cool things that you guys have been doing and as we test this system. So, Brandon, you have been very, very busy this past summer working with Legos. So kind of tell us what you've been doing with those Legos.
Okay. I have been making Lego videos. Basically, Lego stop motion where you take a photo, move the figure a little bit, take another photo, move the figure, repeat. And it's really time consuming.
So these little stop motion videos range in length, I would assume, from how long and what's the longest one you've done?
My longest one I've done was over 3 minutes. It was a music video. And that music video took a long time.
Yeah, well, I bet it did because that, as you say, there's take a picture as you're moving, and oh my goodness, it must be a test of your patience with that, I would guess.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have that music.
That is so. So you've been doing some cool things. We'll get back to that. Now, Michael, you've done some things with your Lego stop motion video.
Yes, I have.
And yours have been. How would you classify your videos? Where have you used those?
I've used my Lego work at the end of your videos.
That's if you guys have seen the little Yoda character or the Batman. Michael's the guy who put those together for us. Now, those are about 20-second clips, roughly. How long does it take for you to put one of those together?
2 hours. One to animate them, and the other hour to get it all synced up to a voice recording.
Which, of course, we do those separately, so that way, when it all comes together, it makes sense.
Yes.
Kind of. So we've been doing those, and we've had the annotations and such on those videos, and that's, of course, a really big thing with YouTube for a lot of people. Now, Brandon, have you done a little bit with annotations so far? And could you explain that for the people out there who have no idea what annotations in YouTube are?
Annotations, which, if you don't know about that, and YouTube being at 2015, that's, you gotta get your head in the game. But what annotations they're like ways to link things easier than just posting a link in the description or on screen. So you just like say, if I had an annotation right here, you click it and then it takes you to wherever you need to go.
So we could put your music video right here that you did.
Yeah,
and people could
now
click on
this.
it.
Click this right here.
Right here.
But
and they could go to it, just like that. So, of course, annotations is one thing that in Michael's videos we've been using that at the end where you could go and click on things. But that's not, for those of you who are kind of getting into it, annotations are great, but they only work on desktop computers. They don't work on mobile devices, which most people are using mobile devices. So they have this thing called cards that's going to replace everything and the whole world is going to turn upside down. But that's another video from another time. So, Brandon, you were mentioning a music video. You did a music video. We saw the link here. Now that video, how long did it take you to put that together?
2 months.
2 months. And it wasn't like you were working on it every day, every hour of the day. But you were putting a lot of time into
it. Was a lot of work.
What was the most time-consuming part of it now? When Michael said it basically took him about an hour to film and an hour to sync it up, what did you find the most time-consuming with that?
The spaceship scene. If you guys watched it, if you guys didn't, then go watch it. You'll see what I mean. And then the one, like the wise guy scene, because the wise men, I only had one of those figures, and I had to physically video effects duplicate them, and then add the green screen in the background, and then it turned out.
Wow, so you were doing
it was a lot of work, but it turned out it was well worth it.
So you're doing a lot of production, editing and such in production. Mm-hmm. And Michael, you're the one who kind of got me started in moving from iMovie to Final Cut. And you've been using Final Cut for quite a while. How easy is it, do you think, to get into Final Cut for those who are using iMovie right now and want to make the jump?
I think that it is easy to get into Final Cut Pro. There are some changes, and some things can be a little difficult to get into Final Cut Pro, but overall, Final Cut Pro is the way to go.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of functionality that I didn't have in iMovie, and one thing, it doesn't crash as much as iMovie did.
No, sometimes it does, but not nearly as much as iMovie.
Not as much as it is. Now, Brandon, you mentioned, of course, your music video you did. Now, you are doing, with your stop motion and your music video, you're doing a small business right now. Tell us a little bit more about where you're selling these services.
Okay, I sell these and do my business thing on a website called Fiverr.com.
And that's Fiverr.
Two R's.
Two R's.
Basically, their motto is like gigs and services starting at $5. So I could go there with $5 and have somebody like draw me a picture or something. Just there's so many things people do on that website, and what I do is video stuff.
Okay.
Like the Lego videos.
Okay, so now for those who haven't seen your Fiverr account, what do you have as a $5 option?
One of my my best-selling one is one where my Lego character walks up to this wall with spray paints it, and then when the camera turns away, it shows the logo that the guy just spray painted onto the wall.
And of course, all that is kind of a template where you've put everything together and you just have to insert one little component. So how long does it take you then? So when someone gives you an order, how long does it take you to put that in and export?
It takes me like 2 minutes to put it in, and then I have to export it 3 times in order for Fiverr to accept it. One to take it because Final Cut, I have it set to export at the highest quality possible.
Okay.
So, the 20-second video is half gig there. So then I have to make it smaller and make it into the format, so I use Handbrake for that. Then that takes about like 5 minutes to run it through. Then after that, you're pretty much good to go.
Interesting. And of course, the music video that you did was through a customer on Fiverr, and that's a big thing. Now, let's instead of talking about big things, as those aren't very common, let's talk about the upsells that you do in Fiverr. What are the different upsells? Because there's the $5 base, but most of your orders aren't $5.
My average selling price right now is $22, but I'm not selling anything at $22. That's between $22 and $25.
Right.
What happens is that people buy the base gig, then they can buy other things. Like I have commercial rights, which is $10. So I can have this, and I can actually have this for a company, make money off. Have actual money transfer due to that, or I have the ability to put in music, and that's another $5, and then to have text or something under their logo, or just various things like that.
So a sale, since your average is about $22, so most of your sales are probably somewhere in that $20 to $25 range, and that's all because of the upsells.
Pretty much.
Very cool, very cool. Now, Michael, you're doing some Fiverr things, taking a version of what we've been using at the end of our videos, and you put those on Fiverr. Now, what's the difference between the ones that you've done for us and what you're doing on Fiverr?
The ones that I'm doing on Fiverr are completely generated through Final Cut Pro.
Okay. And now, how does it? How much work or what are you doing with your videos before you sell them?
Before I sell them, not much.
We're branding it as a little guy that comes over and spray paint. Give the people an idea of what your Fiverr videos are.
Well, okay, so you have 2 boxes. Those are for the annotations of your YouTube videos. Then the subscribe button, where you subscribe to your channel. And then the links to the social media groups. That's my outro.
So when a person puts in a Fiverr order and such and says, hey, I want one done for me, how long does it take you? How much manipulating do you have to do before you can export it and send it off to them?
Oh, maybe 10 minutes at max.
Wow, very nice. Very
maybe
nice.
15.
And you guys were talking about Final Cut now. So you guys have been using a lot of Final Cut and a lot of different things for that. You've got your channels that are demonstrating a lot of those capabilities. Now, Brandon, what's your main channel right now?
My main channel is Brand Dutchman.
Yeah, we'll put that link right here so you guys can pop up.
Another annotation.
Yes, exactly. So
Annotations.
So, Brand Dutchman, and what kind of videos do you have on your channel?
I right now have on the channel at this very moment shooting this video. There is some things I did playing around with special effects, learning how to use the software, because you have to learn how to use the software before you do bigger things. So on there right now, I have videos of goofing around with 3D animation and 2D animation and soon-to-be lightsaber effects and other things like that.
Very
and then
cool.
later on, then I'm going to start working on making storylines and other things like that to make it more interesting to the common viewer.
The average viewer, so they would have interest in it.
Who really wants to watch just a 5-second clip of somebody having a lightsaber? It's you want to see a fight or something. So
there's a lot of potential, but it's a learning process.
very, very steep learning curve.
Yeah, very much so. Now, Michael, your channel you got out there, and what's your channel?
Mike Thanks. It's Mike THX. Some people say it's Mike Thanks.
Yeah, we'll put the link right here
yeah.
so you guys can pop on and check
Mike
that.
Thanks.
And it'll be in the description below, too, so you guys can get that. So what do you have on your channel?
I have unrealistic fighting videos where I take fake guns, like toy guns, and I point them and do the hand motion, and then I take special effects and add in the muzzle flares and the sounds like that.
Okay, so when you're saying you take special effects or you add those, what are you using to add those?
I'm using Final Cut Pro.
And we're back to Final Cut Pro. And you found that works very well, because I've seen some of those videos and they look pretty cool. And you're able to do that all in Final Cut.
All in Final Cut.
Wow, that's really cool. Now, you're using Final Cut for that. But now, Brandy, you're using additional software.
I use a lot of other software.
So what kind of things are you using besides Final Cut?
Besides Final Cut, I use Motion 5, Compressor, Cinema 4D, After Effects are the main ones that I use of it.
Okay, so give us a little rundown. We know that Final Cut, a lot of people are familiar with that because they use it to edit their videos, because it's very much like iMovie. So now let's talk about some of the other ones. Just give us a little video.
So Motion 5 is a really awesome 2D animation thing, and it can do a little bit of 3D, like manipulating 3D text.
Okay.
But After Effects really takes over with that. But then I'm able to I do a lot of my muzzle flare stuff. If I ever do muzzle flares, I don't do it in Final Cut, I do in Motion, because then I can, like, if I shoot and then pull up right away, I can, like, have the muzzle flare, like, go along with the gun instead of just having it, like, weirdly go out like that. Then we get to After Effects, which After Effects, I use it for, like, if I want to have a helicopter, I take a video of a little helicopter in front of a green screen, and then, like, paste it into, like, the big with After Effects.
Okay.
Excuse me. And then Cinema 4D is, like, completely 3D animation software. I'm able to do, like, the game Minecraft in real life, like being able to physically place the blocks and then have the camera go around and motion track all that in Cinema 4D. So yeah.
Very cool. And you guys have been doing some videos with lightsabers, and I've seen some of those now. Now, what kind of software are you using to make those lightsabers glow? Because I've seen that, and it looks really cool, and I know those lightsabers weren't glowing like that when you guys left the house.
A magician never tells his secrets, but a little hint is a combination between After Effects and Motion 5.
Yeah, however you guys are doing it, we don't need that for our Disc Jockey News videos, so if you see lightsabers under there, it means that those are real lightsabers.
If you guys want a tutorial, then ask.
Yeah, if you guys want to know more about that, you can put that down in the comments down below, and then Brandon will he can maybe put a video together to demonstrate how he does it. Michael, you're doing your things. You're on Fiverr. You're making a few sales with your stuff. If you could make like the ultimate video project, what would you like to do? What's one that's kind of a video you'd like to make?
The video that I'd like to make is a music video for Star Wars.
A Star Wars music video.
Yes, I have it all planned out already.
All planned out.
Well, guys, thank you for watching there tonight. If you're wondering what this was all about, we're testing. We've got 3 microphone stands and mixers and digital recorders and camcorders. All this is going to be used at LDI this week. We'll be in Las Vegas for the lighting show. And you'll be able to go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/discjockeynews, and subscribe, and you'll be able to catch up on all of the videos that are going to be dropping this week, because we're going to be doing some little teasers of some of the new lights. And you're starting to see those already roll across our channel, and we're not even there yet. Wait till we get there. It's going to be awesome. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for being on with me today. This is some good stuff. Thanks, guys. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. We'll see you from LDI.